Hey YouTube, what's happening? Chris here. Want to bring you guys an update on LTC BTC the pair. I know some people have been asking about it, so I want to provide you just what I was thinking. Remember guys, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not setting targets for you guys. I'm not your financial advisor or anything like that. I'm not your trade call guy. I'm just a person here showing you the upside, the downside, the sideways, the things that I'm seeing and what I'm doing. So I want you all to remember that, and we'll get into this. And if you guys could like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, trying for 100 likes on this video. You guys are doing great for me, just really helping this channel grow, and I want to be able to get out as much information as I can, and hopefully you guys are, going through and studying a lot yourselves, and really learning a lot. So proud of each and every one of you here, and let's dig into this. Let's get into it. So first of all, we're going to talk about, remember we've been talking for a few months now about this rounded bottom that's been taking place, and it's great. It has been playing out beautifully, and what you're seeing is we pulled our Fibonacci from up here, our high, to our low. We got through our 0.236 Fibonacci, which is key. That's hard to get over top of. Now what you're seeing is a double top. So our RSI here is up at around 84, right in this range. You can see where there's a wick, where there's some profit taking. Then we came back down, and we're trying to go up again, and the RSI is starting to be a little bit lower than it was right here. So do you see that the price is up above over here, which we can zoom in on a little bit here, but the RSI is higher here, and then look at the price goes up a little bit more, but the RSI is dropping. So keep that in mind. There could be a pullback onto this 0.236 Fibonacci, a back test of it, and that would also coincide with this 20 EMA. That would be right here, and this is on the one-day chart. So that's where I'm planning my pullback. I want to see what we do with this. Could we continue to run up here and test this 0.382 at 0.01381? Absolutely, that could happen as well, but we're just starting to get a little overextended. Our RSI is at 71 right now. You're seeing this divergence, so we want to pay attention to that. And we also have this overhead 0.382 that is going to come into play. So what I'm thinking may happen is a pullback right to this 0.236 onto this 20 EMA, and then we have a push up to try to attempt to get over this 0.382. It's hard to get over that as well, guys. Just keep that in mind. A huge gain would be to earn this back as support, this 0.236, and not fall all the way back onto it and start testing some of these other moving averages. What's nice is we're having nice moving average crosses, those golden crosses. And you can see this taking place. Let me get that Fibonacci out of the way. You can see this with our 100-day moving average coming over our 200-day, which is great. So that's a beautiful golden cross. Another thing I wanted to point out to you all is the gaps. I know I mentioned this in some of the other videos that I was doing today, but I've been back testing it, really studying this, and it's very effective. So especially with this 20 EMA right here. Let me change this out for us, guys. 1 second. Okay, so even with this 20 EMA right here, each time we would come up off it and we caught a little air, we'd always come back to it. Here we bounced up off it. We caught some air in between here. You see where there's the black chart? We came back to it. Each one of these, we came back to it. We came back to it. Now look at this big gap that we have here. We came back to it. Got pretty close to it. Now we're gapped up again. And this would put us, if we were to come back to it, this would put us around that 1136, right in that area. So that's definitely an area that I'm looking at. Remember, I said this is just what I do. And remember, guys, I'm also in and out of different things and can move with the market pretty fast. But this is an area I'm looking at. I'm just not about FOMOing. I'm not going to chase any stock. That's where I'm at. And I hope you guys are learning that as well, that there's always going to be another chance at things, especially if you know how to go long and short. It really doesn't matter. You're just looking for that volatility. So this is where I would pin maybe a pullback into this area. Like I said, we could go up a little higher though, guys. That can always happen. We can get a little overextended, come back up here around 80. Somewhere there, maybe fail on the RSI and double top on the RSI around 84. That's a potential as well. But in terms of the trend changing, this has definitely changed, guys, especially in the short term. Remember, it starts with the short term, intermediate term, then the long term. So right here, what we're going to draw now is a trend line. This is what needs to hold. Right in here, we're just going to do a rough trend line, guys. Now, do you see how far away we are from the trend line? Each time we've kind of got back up here, we tested again, we moved away from it, we came back down, tested again. So that's what I'm saying. With this nice gap that we had in between this moving average, we're most likely going to have a pullback into here. If we don't have support there, we may come down here and ultimately test this trend line before getting another bounce. And that's what happens. You know, it's not a bad thing to have a pullback and for things to calm down. That's part of the process. Anything that runs straight up like that, what happened here? We had to have that pullback. Right? Because nothing can go straight up, and that's what you have to remember. So have a plan for the upside, have a plan for the downside, have a plan for the sideways, but this is what really needs to hold down here is this trend line. Ultimately, that's what I'm looking at. We may lose this moving average and we may lose this spot as support. That could very well happen, but the main thing I want to see is this trend line, and we're also having this 50 moving average coming up along the trend line. So this could be popping up into this area, and that could be another spot that we test if we come down here and fall and we double top right here. So keep that in mind. We're up 6.87%. We've had a heck of a run right now, guys. A lot of times you'll have that just cool down. Remember, that's how it works. You'll have that blast off, and then it'll just cool down, calm everything down. Then you try to consolidate over top of that. What was resistance now turns support. You want to see consolidation on top of it for a few days before you make your move up again. You know, and on the RSI, this is something that I'd look at as well. We've been having these higher lows down here. So let's keep an eye on that trend line. Do you see, though, how it follows these things, guys? And that's what I'm trying to point out to you, you know. But this is just what I'm doing, you know. Here's the ultimate low down here where we would have some type of double bottom, say something crazy were to happen. You'd look down in here. Obviously, we could work our way down. We'd look at support here, and then we'd just go down off moving average, another support here. But I'm saying, guys, in terms of the ultimate bottom, we would have to lose this trend line and then these moving averages. Then we'd come down and we'd see if there was some type of double bottom or we'd just completely blow it off and dump lower. But that's not in the cards right now. Right now, the trend is up. That's what we're looking at in the short term. It's been identified. We're no longer having these lower lows that we're put in. We're having higher lows, so we are moving up. But just remember, when we have these gaps and these holes right here, a lot of the times you're going to have pullbacks onto those. All right? So God bless each and every one of you. This is LTC BTC on the day. And you can go through to the 12-hour, the 4-hour, all that, and you'll see this, guys. I'll do it real quick for you. So 12-hour. See what you're looking at, kind of that double top there. You're starting to have the wick. And you can see it's lower down here on the RSI, and that's what you do. You just work your way through. Let's go to the 4 hours. See that? There's a top. There's a top. Look where the RSI is here. Look where it is here. You could draw a trend line right on there, and that's what you do. You just go through like that, and then watch for these things. Look at this gap here, friends. Do you see that big gap? What happened? We pulled back onto it. So keep these things in mind. Look at these gaps here, pulled back onto it. Just stuff I'm seeing. Just want to put it out to you all. God bless each and every one of you.